We are back at the Sample Rock Construction Company, a fictitious company, and today I'm going to show you how to do a couple of small items that are useful. We are going to write a check. So we're going to go into banking and write a check. Now, this assumes our check is number 491, is the next open one in the checkbook. We're going to write the check to Bay Shore, California Oil Service. And we're going to make the check for $500 because that's what the invoice supposedly says. And we're going to make that for equipment rental because that's what we're renting. This would be a sample check for when you're doing cash basis accounting. So when I save and close, this will be a cash basis accounting check. So we've written the check. Now, the next step is if you want to be accrual basis, you have to put an invoice in first and then write the check. So on this particular one, we're going to go to vendors. We're going to enter a bill. And we're going to pick the same company. And you'll notice that the date on the last check was December 15th. But on this one, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to make it a November bill. And we're going to put it in for $500 again. And we're going to save and close. So again, let's go through this. We want the invoice that's going to be accrual basis to show up in November. So therefore, we're dating the invoice, the expense, on November 30th. And then we're taking it to the same company as I did the check before. So now, what will happen is the income statement for the first check, that expense would show up in December. But for this particular item, it's going to actually show up in November. The first one shows up in December, the check that I did before, and this one will show up in November. I think I said that wrong. All right, save and close. Now, if we go back to banking, write checks again, and then we pick that same company, and you'll see it brings up the check to pay. And at this point in time, we should have actually done it a little bit differently. Here, I'm going to take you to that. We're going to go to vendor pay bills, and we're going to pick this check right here. We're going to pay that selected bill. And then at this point, if you've got your check stock in, you can print the check. Or you could pay more bills. In other words, you're basically setting it up to print the checks later. So in this case, we're going to just print the check immediately. And it's going to go, I'm going to take it to a PDF file, but you can do however you would probably be putting in your check stock at this point in time. And we're going to say OK. And there we go, printing the check. And it gives you an option to look at your check, make sure it printed properly, etc. You're going to say OK, and you're done.